Welcome to 2 on the 10.
Oh, we back 2 on the 10, baby. I'm Paul.
Greedy. Wait.
Hold on, wait.
Somebody's missing. Somebody's missing.
Hold on. That ain't how it normally works.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was too short of a time. I was waiting for someone else to say something. I'm not used to being on this side of the table, you know? Second time.
It's all good. It's all good, though. It's all good. But, oh, man. It's weird.
I know, it's weird. We have no Mitch today. I thought about just putting a garbage can in the chair and just acting like he was still on the podcast. But I didn't think that was going to work, so here we are.
Rolling a big-ass stone head.
Yeah, stone heads, you know?
With this motherfucker. Uh-huh.
We looked at a couple fill-ins for Mitch, you know, but none of them could make it today. So
it's all good. It's all good. We miss you, man. He has some prior engagements that he had to attend that he had to get done. I want to apologize for last week. It was a mess around here. We had technical difficulties. Well, I did. But we're back. We're here.
we're back. We're here. We're ready to go. We're rocking and rolling.
We got a little show for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, the show must go on.
Yeah.
And we're missing our compadre. But anyway, how was your weekend?
Man, my weekend was good. I had a good time. Ate a lot of good food this weekend.
Yeah.
So, like I was just telling you, our buddy Wally has a spot in downtown Chandler called Get Yo Taco. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Wally. I spent some time there this weekend drinking, but between he's like, "Hey, man, you need to try our double cheeseburger." And I was like, "Double cheeseburger from a taco joint?"
Right.
And he's like, "No, man, and we make it really good. It's, you know, this blend of meat and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "All right, let me try that shit." Bro, if that shit wasn't fire.
Really?
Oh, I had it 2 times that weekend. I actually came back the next day. I'm like, I'm coming back tomorrow and having this for lunch again.
All right.
So, and he actually has a really good lunch special, like every day of the week from like 11 to 2. Mm-hmm. It's like a $10.99. You get a double cheeseburger, you get fries, you get some chips, and then you get little mini churros.
Okay.
That's all for $10.99. And the burger is fucking delicious.
Okay. And it's a double cheeseburger.
Double cheeseburger. It's like 2 smash patties.
Okay.
He brought that thing out. I took one bite into it. I was like, man, this is a home run.
Okay.
It's a home run. So I mashed that stuff. And like I said, I had it twice over the weekend.
All right.
So
I'm gonna go fuck with it.
yeah, you got to mess with that.
Next couple days, yeah, for sure.
And then I made it back down to Tucson.
Did you?
This other
Did you go to the wing spot?
I went to Flaps and Racks, baby.
Yeah?
And
Did you get some racks?
Man,
Flaps?
I got that. I'm telling you right now. And so, in case you guys don't know, I started a little Facebook page called Eat Out AZ. Check it out.
Okay.
Where me and Mitch and whoever kind of just pop up and post pictures of food spots that we're visiting and talk little write-ups on them. Yeah, so I posted the other day about Flaps and Racks, and actually, I guess he's the owner. I don't know, but he's Puerto Rican. He liked it, and so I checked out his page, and he had a bunch of stuff on there about the restaurant, and pretty interesting spot. But yeah, probably if not the best wing place in Arizona, I would put it in the top 3.
It was delicious.
But I'm telling you, those garlic parm wings.
Yeah, the garlic parm.
I would put those wings up against any wing in existence, just because they're not like battered in like sauce. It's just like you got that oil and then with the garlic and then the Parmesan sprinkled over the top. Mm-hmm. They're just like super crispy on the outside and then just juicy and delicious on the inside. Man, there's nothing better. I got there and I was like, maybe I'm gonna try the ribs today because I heard the ribs are really good there too. And then they have some other stuff. They have burgers. And I was like, maybe I'll try something different.
Right.
And I got one whiff of the garlic Parmesan. I'm like, man, I'm getting those wings.
Like
And I got the wings again.
I got you.
Someday I'm going to try other stuff, but I'm telling you right now, man, those garlic Parmesan wings are amazing.
That's where it's at, huh?
Yeah. So if you guys on Facebook or Instagram, on Facebook, it's Eat Out AZ. On Instagram, it's Eat Out Arizona.
Okay.
We talk all local spots, places good to eat. We don't need any bad places. So,
Right.
And we're going to just keep posting stuff and build up a following. People can jump on there, post places that they like. And we just want to start like a little community of foodies that, just around town and around the state of places that are good to eat. And we're kind of a little bit staying away sometimes from like the trendy, like Of course, you can go to Scottsdale and find like a nice steakhouse, and yeah, we'll cover some of those from time to time.
Right.
But we're talking a lot of our focus is on the mom and pop spots that you may have never heard of.
Right.
Like places like the
the
place
one
in Tucson.
Yeah, like the one I just found.
Yeah, the place like you found, just like mom and pops, little spots, not a lot of people have heard of, or maybe if you live in the West Valley, there may be some East Valley spots you just don't get to because you're not out here all the time, or vice versa. There may be for all the East Valley people some West Valley spots. Me and Mitch go all over the state, so I travel all day for work. So I may be in the West Valley one day, I may be up in Tucson the next day, I might be in Flagstaff the next day. So you just never know.
Right.
So finding all these little hidden gems and just good breakfast spots, good brunch spots, good tacos, good pizza, good wings, good everything. That's what the page is going to focus on. So
you go.
make sure if you're on Facebook, Instagram, check that shit out. So,
right.
But that's my weekend. How was your weekend?
Weekend was actually good, man. Me and my girl, we hung out. We actually went to the Scar Bar. What else did we do? We kind of chilled out because this coming up weekend is going to Bear Jackson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Bear Jackson, and then I forget what we're gonna do on Saturday, but.
So when you go to Barrett Jackson, do you actually like looking at the cars, or you go more for the scene and the?
I go for a little bit of both. I love the cars. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna turn the big 50 next year. My birthday's here in a week.
Damn.
But I'm not turning 50 this year. But anyway, one of my dream cars is Lambo. So I like to go.
Look at the Lambo?
Yeah, look at the Lambo, just refresh my memory. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Just a matter of time till Daddy's coming back for you, you know what I'm saying? So
Can you fit in a Lambo?
yeah, the Aventador.
Okay.
The Aventador I can.
I know some of those are tiny.
Yeah, but the Aventador I can. Believe it or not, the Ferraris, all the Ferraris I can fit in. Spider Ferrari. Well, you should know that.
Yeah, we've been in a Ferrari before. I think we told that story. I almost died in a Ferrari one time with Paul. So
We didn't die. Did you die?
did you die? No, I didn't. I came close though.
Exactly. You ain't died, motherfucker. But yeah, we did fucking blow a tire in a Ferrari. But
At
that
160, by the way.
But that shit was fun. Though. Fun.
I mean, fun.
It shows how the fucking handling of that shit is. That shit was dope.
Got to see my life flash before my eyes. It was great. I was like, whoa, this is what my life's been for the first, whatever, what was that, like 30 years. So
Yeah.
like hopefully the next 30 years, if I make it.
But no, we found this. There was this guy they had a food truck that was outside the cigar bar. Matter of fact, in this one pub, Piero doing their thing. Going there. They got 2C in there, so go in there and support my guys over there. But no, they had a great Mexican place in there. It's called Achote, and it's off Cooper and Ray. Is their main like brick and mortar. But man, I'm telling you, their carne asada. Oh my gosh, their carne asada burrito. I want to try it, and their tacos were so freaking good. I've been
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking it up right now.
Yeah. And you got to check it out. It's kind of like a little hole in the wall, type of joint, but the food, the meat is fresh. The flavor, the seasoning is perfect. Check it out, man. I was highly, highly impressed. I haven't had that good of a Mexican, since what's that, Taco Bon?
Taco Bon.
Yeah.
What do you recommend over at this place?
Definitely carne asada burrito.
Okay. Is it like full of a bunch of stuff, or is it just carne asada and cheese?
Well, you can have it any way you want it,
Okay.
but I always have it, carne asada and cheese. So
Yeah.
that's the only way I've had it.
I'm a
but-
purist in that sense.
Yeah.
And I wonder, people out there, like, some people like the guac and
the
onion,
guac and the pico and all that shit. No,
Sometimes someone put rice and beans in there, like
exactly.
some of the taquerias in town put rice and beans in there.
Yep.
If I want a burrito, I want it packed with meat and cheese.
Yes, and that's how it is.
Maybe a little sour cream sometimes, and then some sauce, hot sauce, and I'm good to go. I don't need all the other fixings. I don't need beans.
What I love about it, it's meaty.
Is it meaty?
Yeah. I didn't have to order extra meat. The thing was
damn.
fucking huge.
Okay.
I loved it. So my girl got the El Pastor, which was freaking delicious too. I was impressed by the place. Like I said, going there, they do need something. Only thing I would say is this is just the place in general. They do need to put some like ambiance in the joint, to put some on the wall. But as far as the food wise, man, the food is fucking top notch. So definitely check that out. Cooper and Ray. Very, very, very impressed with that. Like I said, I had it for lunch today. Definitely gonna make that a every other week kind of spot. And then, I'm gonna check out Wally's spot here in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'll
Get
come
you a
back.
taco
You
downtown
know,
Chandler.
I love me a great cheeseburger, so I'm definitely gonna check that out. I'll tell you.
The
how
other
it
thing
is.
too, they carry. I've been big on drinking neutrals lately.
Yeah.
And they carry the neutral. So neutral. I used to like the orange.
Mm-hmm.
Now I like the black cherry even better. I've been drinking. He's been busting box open just to find the black cherries to serve me. So yeah, that it's some good shit, man. I'm telling you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna definitely go over there and see what's up. Good friend of ours, Wally. Get your taco if you haven't been over there. Go over there and try them. Downtown Chandler.
Yeah, try the burger. I'm telling you.
All right, I got it. All right, man. Well, let's get into the regularly scheduled programming here.
And it feels weird. We're going to talk some conspiracy today, and our coincidence theories. And our coincidence theorist is not here.
Not even here today. Yeah. But this. I mean, it just fits in the narrative. You know what I'm saying? So, President Trump was sworn in a couple of days ago. He signed a bunch of executive orders.
Yes.
One of the last executive orders were the release of the reports from JFK.
The assassinations of JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther King.
So and they want them unredacted.
As best they can, yeah. Anything that's obviously not national security, but I think it's interesting that he's doing this. We'll see, because he made that promise in his first term that he was going to do it, and then it didn't happen. But now he's signing an executive order that says he's going to. So hopefully, the information gets released, because. I'd like to get your opinion on all three of them, because they all are kind of similar time frames and similar situations.
Right.
Do you think the information that we were provided by the government at the time and what we still think is the truth is actually the truth, or do you think there's more to the stories?
Hell no. I mean, first of all, let's start with JFK, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you ever seen the movie JFK, right?
One of my favorites.
Okay. Kevin Carson did an amazing job in that. I mean, they had actors after Joe Pesci was in there. They did a great job. Like that was for me, that was one of Oliver Stone's, like one of his best works. Right? Yep. And he broke it down. He showed you, and he broke the conspiracy down.
Yep.
And showed, Lee Harvey Oswald was, I mean, they've had like top marksmen try to recreate what supposedly Lee
did. Yeah.
He did. Okay. And you talk about the magic bullet.
Yeah.
How, it moved around and all that shit. Bro, that's total bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It goes back, I mean, if you read it, it goes back, it's a mob hit. Here's the thing. We didn't have the kind of sophistication we do far as, I think what we do with like Secret Service today.
Yeah, the technology
wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit easier to get the presidents, even up to the 1980s, it was easy to get the presidents. I mean, look, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he got shot.
He got shot coming out of a building. You know what I'm saying? I mean, here's the thing: they took some swipes at Trump, but. That was...
Yeah, I mean, he was running. He wasn't actually
He wasn't ever a president. You know what I'm saying? That would never... You couldn't get that close to a president these days. They would definitely not have... I mean, in the parades, they do get out of the motorcade and, walk alongside the motorcade and stuff like that. But I guarantee you, like, every manhole is welded shut. They got snipers for days, people embedded in the crowd and stuff like that. But back then, they didn't have none of that. So it was a lot easier to knock somebody off and then have the public to buy it. It wasn't like we had people,
Well, there wasn't the internet, so you couldn't go on and look up alternate theories. It was the news was the gospel.
Yes,
and
what
whatever
they told you
is what you
believed. You know what I'm saying? And not saying like I think we were more gullible back then, but it just we believed our government. I think right now, this day and age, we are we don't believe our government the way we used to.
Well, we have
we take everything with a grain of salt.
Well, I think the one thing that like social media and especially like with TikTok being in the news a lot has done is it's given us an alternate view than what the mainstream media puts out, or even the whack job, let's say like right or left media.
Right.
You get those people in the middle that are just truth seekers,
Right.
that are just out there that find strange, let's say, coincidences in stories that are put out by the media and go, and just say, what is this? What is this? And then it allows other people to dig in and then add to the story and add to the thing. And even like people that are on the scene at different places, like, so you learn stuff that they don't report in the general news. And you can kind of learn from different people and read comments and then make your own decision on like, is what the general media telling us, is that the whole truth, or is there more to the story?
Right. It's just so crazy to me that, you think about the JFK story, right? So he gets shot with this magical bullet. If you guys don't know what the magic bullet, go ahead and look it up. It traveled, with, I forget what the governor, I think it was the governor of Texas that was riding along with him. Essentially, the bullet traveled, it hit him, took a left turn, straightened back up, hit the governor, went outside his, went out his like left elbow or something crazy like that, right? But if you look at the way like JFK's body is on the Debooter film,
back into the left,
back into the left. It's impossible for where the shots came from, his body movement to be. He grabs his throat first because he got hit here. Then he leans over. Then he gets shot again.
Yeah, and the headshot.
The headshot
straight back.
Well, here's the thing: Lee Harvey Oswald was above him.
Yeah,
it was behind him. So if anything, his head would have gone forward
instead of
down. Instead of going backwards and stuff like that. So they've always talked about. People said they've always, talked about people that were on the grassy knoll that was in front.
Have you ever been to Daily Plaza, by the way?
No, I've never been to Daily Plaza.
So I think that's what it's called, isn't
it? Yeah. In Dallas.
Yeah, I went.
Oh, did you?
When I was in Dallas one time and walked around, and it's interesting because the road's still the same way.
Really?
They actually have an X, the exact point on the road where the kill shot, where Kennedy was when the kill shot happened.
Okay.
And then you can see like the grassy knoll and the fence line and the different. And you can go up, you can see the observatory. I think they still do tours and stuff up there. You can
really?
go.
Okay.
But it's kind of crazy. And now some of the trees are bigger and things, so the view isn't the same as much as it was back then. Trees weren't as big, but just to see, like, there's a lot of people that think, they say the grassy knoll. There was also like a storm drain that's like right at the point that would be the perfect kill shot for the head.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that think there was triangulation, so even if maybe Lee Harvey Oswald may have been involved in it, maybe he didn't even shoot his gun, who knows? But it was a triangulation, so they shot from 3 different angles. And then the one guy was the perfect kill shot. So they have guys that walk around and that are like historians, you'll say, but they're people that live in the area, and they'll tell you stories and they'll take you on tours and stuff and show you. But that was the one thing they talked about, is that someone was probably in that drain and that they shot, so they basically confused with the other shots. Mm-hmm. Those aren't the kill shots, but one guy's lined up for one shot, perfect headshot, perfect angle. You get everybody in the car kind of moving around, not really know where the shots are coming from, and then you take the kill shot, and it's over. And so it's pretty crazy. I mean, there was, if you watch the movie JFK, there's like the guys that they caught behind the fence by the train tracks, all these different places. There was an overpass just ahead where he was coming that they kind of shot down from. That actually someone on one of the bridges kind of had like a bullet ricochet off of him. So I believe there's definitely multiple shooters in that whole situation. And I don't believe that Lee Harvey Oswald is the one that killed JFK. I just don't.
No, here's the thing is, I don't think at the time of the shooting, he was seen on the street. He had ducked into what was that? He ducked into a movie theater. People had seen him running and stuff like that, and it was crazy because it was all kind of chaos on the street around him and stuff like that. I think he knew he got set up.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was trying to get away.
Get away. Yeah.
Yeah. And so even when they arrested him, I mean, here's the thing: they arrested him. How do you shut him up? If you can say, I did not do this.
Yeah.
I know people that were talking.
Yeah.
They let what's the name that shot Leo? Ruby. Yeah, Jack Ruby.
Yeah.
They let Jack Ruby down in this. So first of all, a police officer or security guard had to let Jack Ruby in because it was all gated off.
Yeah. It was in the basement of the parking garage or wherever of the police station.
Yeah, the Dallas police station at the time. So only way, I mean, Jack Ruby was known by the policemen, whatever. He like went on both sides of the law. He knew policemen, but he also knew some gangsters and stuff like that. So he had to be let down, and he's down there. And then when Lee Harvey Oswald comes out, he shoots him. So it's like they wanted to silence the shooter. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
they want to silence probably the one person that could disprove
everything. Yeah, exactly. I was in one thing is you kill all loose ends. You know what I'm saying? And then you force feed America to say, hey, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And like you said, at the time it was like you could only get one narrative, so you gotta say, oh.
Yep. Nobody thought any different because everything that all the media and everything was saying was this one guy. I mean, they started reporting like he was the shooter within like super quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Faster than they report like people that have tried to kill people and they catch them here. They don't release the names that quick.
Yeah, exactly. Like they knew his name immediately, like who he was. And I'm like, it is no way. I mean, they hadn't done no investigation.
Yeah.
They weren't sure who this fucker was.
How they got to that quickly and
how they got to it made no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? And I really think it was a mob hit. Getting these, they used the mob to get John elected. They owed some favors, and they got there and they said no.
Yeah.
And they were going in different
directions. Also, JFK didn't want to go to war.
Yeah.
A lot of things. I mean,
the Bay of Pigs.
By that time, the military-industrial complex was in full force.
Yep.
They need wars to fund all these defense contractors and things. And I think that kind of ties into the whole RFK assassination because, obviously JFK was assassinated and then you have his brother who then decides to run for president.
Yep.
And he's at a hotel doing a speech and decides to shake some hands and walk through the kitchen and say hi to people. And he's assassinated by a supposed lone gunman. And that whole story. And then
Sirhan.
Yeah. And there's an interview with RFK Jr., and he talks about another guy named Eugene Thane Cesar, who was a security guard that they hired the day before to be security for this event, knew that RFK was going to be there. He was in the position that he could have taken the shots. They said that 4 of the shots that hit him came from behind. The guy, Sirhan was in front.
Right.
They pretty much know where most of his bullets went.
Right.
And then RFK Jr. said that the shots that killed his dad were from behind and in super close range to where that it left a residue on his father from the barrel being either in contact with the skin or clothes or close enough that it could leave an impression.
That's insane.
And the shots were from behind and upwards. So, and this guy, the security guard, was kind of right behind him and could have been close enough that he could have just pulled the gun up and boom, 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 boom in all the chaos. And the crazy thing is it comes out that this guy has his full-time gig was working for some defense contractors. And there's also rumors that he may have had ties into the CIA. So, again, you look at the same thing with JFK and possibly
and then he immediately
Oswald with CIA ties.
Immediately took off to the Philippines.
Moved to the Philippines and lived his life out there, but was very outspoken against RFK and thought that he was going to cause race wars and all these issues.
Right.
So it's just like, did the CIA, have they been involved in the assassinations of our own political leaders?
Right.
And then you look at even Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, he's assassinated outside a hotel.
Yes.
And they're just the strangeness behind that. And
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy because MLK, he had given a speech the night before.
Yeah.
And he, in one of his speeches, like, I may not get to the mountaintop with you, but we're gonna get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He had a inclination because he was getting death threats.
oh, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. But the FBI was bugging his phone. They were following him, stuff like that. It's when you get so influential like that, they got to monitor you to make sure, you won't pop something off. And I think is when you get too much, especially back then, when you had that much power, control over people, and you can get, people to do, the government got scared at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't control you. And so only way they can control you is to neutralize you.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that, the hit, the assassination of Martin Luther King wasn't by the same guy. I forgot the guy's name that shot him. But anyway, I believe that was a FBI or CIA.
I think it was probably a CIA hit as well.
You know what I'm saying?
The crazy part about that is like he was starting to, he was fighting for rights and starting to bring people together, and he was well spoken and just, some of his speeches, the I Have a Dream, all these things that he's so well known for. It was like a threat to the status quo of what they were used to, used to having, black people as the lesser, you had segregation, you couldn't use the same water fountains, couldn't go to the same schools.
Yep.
And that was starting to change. And I think that scared the old white establishment. Like, shit, this guy's gonna, and let's be real, like pretty much any, black leader.
Yep.
That after Martin Luther King, it's almost like a message to them too. Like, you try to rise up, we're going to take you down too.
I mean, just like it's got Malcolm X too. I mean, at the same time, you know what I'm saying. But you're exactly right. It was just to send a message to saying, anything that's progressive, anything that's trying to move us forward, anything that's not what the agenda is, we're going to take you out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think all three killings were about, is change, and bringing this country together. I think one thing about America, and I don't know, maybe I'm also guilty of this too, is change. It's like, change is scary. You know what I'm saying? You're used to a certain way. That's how you're brought up, whatever. My girl tells me all the time, you don't like change. Hell no. Like,
I don't like change either.
You know what I'm saying? I like consistency. I like knowing when it, but change is good sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It causes growth, everything. And I think, it comes from, a lot of this stuff comes from fear. And when you fear something is you don't understand it, what do you got to do? You got to eliminate.
Well, you'll fight to keep things the way they are.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's definitely true. I'm the same way. I don't like change. I mean, I'm a person that kind of gets set in his ways. I like the same types of things. That work the same job, live in the same place.
Right.
Same phone number for like 20 something years. Like,
that seems like,
I don't like change. Like, thinking about, like, if I had to get a new cell phone number.
Oh my God, that'd be crazy.
I don't know what I would do. Like,
right.
People from 30 years ago can call me and it's still the same number.
Right.
It's crazy. I just don't. I don't like change, and I think that's just in my own personal life. When you look at change on like a national scale or a global scale,
right,
it's even more crazy and more fearful for the people that are in power. Because let's just say this: if you have a job and you're making $10 million a year and it's a cake job and it's easy going and it's just money coming in like clockwork, and then all of a sudden they come in and they're like, we're going to make changes. And now there's a threat that, man, this cake job that I used to have making $10 million a year ain't going to be here no more.
Right.
You're going to fight like hell to make sure whatever you got to do to keep that job.
Yeah, right.
And that's the same thing. Let's be real. The people in power, they're all about the money. They're about how they're going to spend our tax dollars.
Yeah,
how they're going to get our tax dollars and spend our tax dollars. And how is that money going to get into their cronies' pockets?
Right.
That's what it comes down to. We're all a dollar amount to them. Everybody Why do you think they want unemployment so low? Because everybody that's working is paying taxes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Whether they're the bottom of the barrel or the rich, everybody's paying taxes, and that's money funded into the government. Trillions and trillions of dollars, and who knows where it goes. We send, 40 billion to Ukraine or here or there, and disappears, and then the rich get richer.
Right.
If anybody tries to, ever since, like I said, the military industrial complex, ever since that drive became like the war machine, we got to fund this, and there's always that. You notice there's always that fear of, oh, this country and that country. Do you know our military budget is like 50 times? I don't know the exact number, but like 50 times any other country in the world's military budget. Like our Navy is like 50 times bigger than any Navy in the country. Like there's nobody in a global scale, even if they all combine, that could compete with us. That's how much money the U.S. puts in the military year in and year out, and technology and weapons. There's no one. They talk about like Iraq was a threat. They're living in dirt huts out there, and they have no technology like we do. Right. They barely had planes. Like when we invaded Iraq, they couldn't even get planes in there half the time. And it's like we have so much technology and so much money going into our military that there's really no threat.
Right.
And we own like half the world's nukes, so we could nuke the hell out of everybody if we needed to, targeted nukes or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, the environment wouldn't like that too much, but just we could go to a naval. There's no Navy in the world that could even come close to competing with our Navy. But they scare you like, oh, Russia. Russia's a poor country. It's damn near almost a third world country in a lot of places. Right. There's some uber rich, and they have a couple of big cities. The rest is very rural, very poor areas.
Right.
It's not like the U.S. The U.S. is like a well-oiled military machine.
Yeah.
And we work and pay our taxes every year to keep that machine oiled. And they're not going to let somebody fuck that up. And JFK talking about he didn't want to go to war. RFK having, some of the similar beliefs and things that he wanted to do, and MLK trying to push, equality and things. That's all feeding into their agenda of, this is going to change. Our money's going to dry up, or they're going to, or we're not going to be the ones in power anymore.
Yeah, in charge.
That's the other scary thing. It's like the people in charge are the people that stay in charge. They just, we just think about the last 30 years of presidents. You have George Bush Sr., then you have Clinton, then you have George Bush Jr., and then you have, Obama, and then you have Trump, who's the outsider, who everybody hates, and then you have Biden. But although Trump's an outsider, he was at the Clintons' weddings. He knows the Bush. It's like, come on, they're all. It's like all these people are all interconnected, and they just pass the torch from one to the next to make sure that their whole group stays in power and still has that money machine coming in. It's crazy, man. And this is all hypothetical because I don't want to say anything and have my brakes go on the right home. But
have you go some motherfucker from the grassy knoll sitting in the fucking
we're sitting in front of a window right now, so I'm
sitting in your storm drain, fucking waiting for you.
I'm gonna have to duck down real quick.
Yeah, no, you're right, bro. It's like I said, I think it's all about control, and that's what it comes down to. And what does Mitch say? Left wing, right wing,
same bird.
Yeah, all the time. They're gonna. It's about control. They can control what you think, what you say, what you do.
Yep.
And then you just got to operate within those parameters.
Yeah. I mean, it's so crazy now because it's gotten to the point with technology and things like you can't really believe anything you hear.
Right.
And they can turn everything into a. And here's the thing. The word conspiracy and making something into a conspiracy is a tactic in itself.
Right.
Because if that's conspiracy, then they can just muddy the waters with truths and lies, and then you never know anything is real or not.
Right.
And we've gotten to that point now with social media that there could be a plain and simple story like, hey, this happened and this guy did this. And then there'll be 50 million stories about it, but then there'll be, mixed in there enough of, well, maybe it wasn't him, maybe it was this, or maybe it was that, or that's AI, that video is doctored. And they've got it so now that you can't even believe videos and audio that you listen to anymore.
Oh, I know, because it's funny. So I'm playing around with TikTok right now,
Yeah.
and I love this AI stuff. Like
Yeah.
it is so crazy. It's like you can do text and images. Basically, you can type in. So I typed in, and Mitch has these cats and stuff. So I did it for him. So I typed in cat with a red hat holding a beer, and that's what it was. It was dope. It showed
Yeah.
up if you go over my TikTok. That's AI generated.
Yeah.
And so it's like I've created an AI influencer. With ChatGPT, bro, you can literally write anything and it'll spit something back.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I just I was hanging out with our friend Katie, and she was showing me some stuff, and she's like, "Oh, you got to use ChatGPT. You can like tell it, write up a review, and you like talk about this, and this, and you just put it in there, and it spits out like a review for you.
Yeah.
And then it talks about all the bullet points that you put in there, and
Yep.
it's crazy. It just writes it. I'm like, man, if I was in college, I had this.
Oh, it'd be crazy, but it learns.
Yeah. Well, everybody that feeds into it and constantly feeds into it, it's constantly learning.
Yeah, and it pulls from the internet, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So AI. Listen, I don't know if we're going to, hopefully that we're on this earth long enough to be able to see the full potential of it.
I don't think we will be.
But it is evolving quickly, like super quickly.
Because I think we're going to get to the point where they can take your consciousness and transmit it
Into
like your memories and stuff. They can take it and transmit it into like either a sentient, like a robot or a being, or to somebody else. I think we'll get to that.
you'll be able to live forever.
In theory, you won't be the same person.
You won't be the same person,
You'll
but
have
your
the
but
thoughts
your
and
conscious-
memories. Your
yeah,
conscious
yeah.
will be able to be transferred.
So here's my question, and this is a great question for AI and stuff like that. Is you as a person, is your conscious you, or is it your soul?
That's a tough one. Is there a difference between the two?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Okay, so they take, your memory, your mind, everything, and they download it,
Yeah.
to some computer or download it to
Yeah.
some robot body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So essentially the robot has everything that you've learned, everything, but it's
I think that's like the book. Like you give it the book, so it's replaying, or it has a movie. It's seen the movie,
Okay.
but it's not you.
I got you. So, but here's my thing is,
Because I think there's something like your brain is part of it, but that's only half the story. The other half is there's something.
so do you
something
have,
deeper,
so that's what
whether
I'm
it's
saying.
a soul or
So
whatever
that's
you
what
want to
I'm
call
saying.
it.
So your emotions, your feelings, how you feel, happy, sad, whatever.
That's all tied into your brain.
You think that's all tied into your conscious?
All emotions are brain based.
Well, yeah, but you also got to have a soul too.
Yeah, but I think I think just like the feeling you're feeling
Yeah.
is more your soul. How do I want to put this? Because like all your feelings that you have are brain based, but I think like your presence is your soul.
Your presence is your
And
soul.
I don't think it has anything to do with what you say or what you do or what you.
So you're saying just like our living bodies of flesh and blood
Yeah.
and stuff like that, that's our soul. But you're saying what you think and do. Because I'm going to ask you this, okay? So you know who you are.
Yep.
But what if you took, some mass murderer, you know what I'm saying? And you try to download their consciousness. Are they still a mass murderer?
I mean, they have all the memories and
So they got the
thoughts and
memories
ideas of that person.
of being a mass murderer. But
they have that person's consciousness.
okay,
But I think there's something deeper than that, like a spirit.
Okay.
Is like the deeper level. That's the things that like your mind doesn't control. So like, I mean, you don't think about breathing. You don't think about your heart beating. It just does.
This does, right. Yeah.
Your blood just pumps through your body. That's it. It's like a well-oiled machine. Like that. There's something there that's like bigger than just your conscious and your thoughts.
Right.
And yeah, I think we're gonna get to I mean, they already have like the Neuralink thing that I think was Elon Musk is doing things with, and I think there's going to be technology there that's is beyond comprehension of what me and you could even think about. Think about it, like when we were growing up, could you ever imagine a phone that folds and I can watch videos and anything and look up anything in 2 seconds? No, we didn't have, early years, we didn't have internet or computers.
But that's what
You couldn't even imagine.
But that's what I'm getting at. So take it this way. I think about my mom, right? My mom's in her 70s now, right? When she was a kid, they didn't even have color TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Now she's at the brink of starting of AI now.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is, where are we going to be at?
There's going to be stuff probably that exists that we can't even comprehend at this point.
Gotcha.
Because here's what AI is going to be able to do too. It's going to be able to learn and create and find ways to create things that the human brain just can't comprehend, because it has million, billion times more processing power, and they can keep adding to it and building on it and building on it and learning. They can feed all of history into it. So who knows what AI is going to end up coming up with, or what's going to be bigger than AI that's going to be the next thing.
Right.
There's so much like that could happen. And there was a movie back when I was a kid called Lawnmower Man. Mm-hmm. It was about some like kid, he was slow and he used to cut everybody's grass, and then they started putting some stuff in him and it made him like super, and then he became like sentient. And back then, this was I think in the 80s, it was like, man, that's crazy. Like what if, and then now it's like some of the stuff that they talked about in the 80s is now like, 40 years later starting to come into existence, where like computers can interact with you. Siri can talk with you. You can have a full-on conversation with your phone with Siri or AI.
Right.
And it's like a person on the other end. You could ask them a question, they can answer back. They'll answer you questions, you can respond. Right. Like AI, they have these, you're starting to see the robots coming out now that they're saying within like the next 10 to 15 years, people start having robots in their house that are human-like, that can have full-on conversations, can cook you dinner, can do your chores.
Well, Netflix just came out with the new show. It was not a show, but it was a movie with who's that girl? Fox, Megan Fox.
Yeah.
It was called what is it called? Started with a D, Divergent or something like that. Go on Netflix.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, oh my God, she's so fucking fine.
Yeah, Megan Fox.
Oh my God, she's so damn good. But she played that. Matter of fact, she played that part well.
Yeah.
But she was an AI robot, just like you're describing right now. And
I mean, they even had like, you remember the movie iRobot
Yeah.
with Will Smith? Those were like just dumb like worker robots.
Yeah.
But now they're talking about like robots that they're talking about people like being in relationships with robots,
Right.
and being able to like fuck a robot. I'm like, tell me what you're talking about. I can make the robot look whatever she wants to look like, and she won't ever tell me no.
right.
Okay, sign me up. But yeah, so I think that the technology with AI is going to explode beyond what people can even comprehend. Probably what people like when we were kids, like our parents and grandparents, could never even comprehend. We'll see before the end of our lifetime.
And that's what I'm saying is what my mom was able to see from the time so she's been on this earth.
Yeah.
I think we'll see. I'm hoping we get to see
I think it'll be exponentially greater, but I think we'll only be, by the time we're gone, we'll only be seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg. Yeah. Yes. Oh man, that's crazy to think.
Yeah. But I mean, there may be a time where they find a way to keep people alive for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Right.
I mean, there's rumors that there was people that used to live hundreds and hundreds of years, and through diet and all the different things and whatever, that doesn't happen anymore. But maybe they find the way to do it again. Who knows?
I don't know.
There's a lot of craziness, man. Like, you look at some of the stuff, like how the pyramids were built. I mean, again, we don't have answers for a lot of these things that like, how did they build the pyramids with, they had no modern machinery or technology, and they're like within an eighth of an inch precise.
Yeah.
Like, there's something there, and who knows, maybe 1,000 years ago there was all this technology, and then maybe like
wiped out.
Yeah, like when the dinosaurs supposedly got eliminated, if you believe in dinosaurs, and maybe something wiped it out, and then they wiped it from the memory books, and now we're basically like
Do you
starting
believe
over.
in dinosaurs?
Do I believe in dinosaurs?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So where are these bones that they're finding? What are those?
Who knows? They find random bones, and then they know how to piece them together exactly, and they know what kind of dinosaur it is and what it did just from some bones.
Right.
Like I can dig up a set of bones out of a graveyard and be like, this guy was a doctor, and he used to work at 47. Like you don't know. You're just looking at they're guessing. It's educated guesses is what I say at the best.
Gotcha.
And at the worst, there's something more nefarious behind it, and they're hiding truths of other life forms and things.
Like giants and shit.
Giants and aliens and other life forms. Who knows?
Here's my thing: is I believe even lies, rumors, or something.
Yeah.
They percolate from somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Like
There's
a hint of truth.
There's a hint of truth somewhere in there that created this big old.
So think about this. Let's say 1,000,000 years ago, there was a life form that lived on the earth that was 1,000,000 times smarter than us. And we were the dumb animals that we just kind of, look at, like we're the toys that they played with. Like we were their pets.
Right.
And they had all this technology that we couldn't even comprehend because we're just dumb animals, dumb mammals.
Right.
And at some point, whatever happened, they decide we're done with Earth. They, tear down all their stuff, and then they hightail it on a planet, whatever. They leave. Maybe they teleport, whatever it is. They leave this planet.
Right.
They leave us with, and we're the next man on the totem pole, basically. Like they were so much more advanced, but now that they're gone, we're the next thing, and we start to learn. We start to figure out how to use tools, remembering some of the stuff that they were doing.
Right.
And then we slowly build into civilized people, somewhat civilized people that we are today.
Right.
Over many, many thousands and thousands of years.
Right.
And now we're starting to get into the technology that's just the tip of the iceberg of what they were able to do. And maybe someday we get to that point and we're just super advanced.
Right.
Civilization. Maybe not. Maybe we just always bound to just be what we are.
I don't know. It's if you go back and look at like movies from the past and they thought 2025 would be
flying cars.
I mean, they just came out with a couple prototypes of flying cars and shit like that and stuff like that.
Here's the problem: we don't have the technology. I mean, they almost have full size 747s almost crashing into each other on runways and taking off and landing. How are they going to monitor, 1,000,000 or 10 million people driving flying cars?
Yeah, I think that'd be crazy.
With drones and everything else in the sky? Man, people would be crashing. And so they have to come up with, the technology has to get better. They have to have better ways to monitor and maintain everything. And then maybe that's a possibility. But we thought we were going to be there. We thought we'd have hoverboards and all kinds of shit.
Because they were trying to get there. I remember, what's that movie where they had the hoverboard in there? Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that shit was coming quick. But.
Yeah. I think we've already passed the point in the future where Marty went to.
Really?
I believe so. Let me see. Because Marty was in 1985.
Yeah, and then he went to what? 2000 what?
I'm going to tell you. Let's see if we can look it up.
If you had a chance, while you're looking that up, if you had a chance to go back to the past.
Oh, and Back to the Future 2, which is the one where he goes into the future, he traveled to 2015.
Oh, 2015. Oh, wow.
And that was when, everything was, crazy, and they had the flying cars and all that.
Yeah.
That was 2015.
Interesting.
From the 80s.
Yeah, we're 10 years past that.
Yeah.
We ain't even close.
We're not even close.
But here's my final question tonight.
Yeah.
And then we'll wrap up the show. If you had a chance to go back, Back to the Future, would you do it?
I can go back in time?
You can go back in time.
Yeah.
You can go back in time and change things and do everything different. Would you do it?
I don't know if I'd go back in time and do anything different with my life. I'd want to go back in time and experience things well before my time. I love to go back and experience ancient Rome
Nah, fuck
and
all
how that
shit.
was, and go to see the gladiators fight.
See, you going too far.
That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go way back in time.
See, I would go back in time and drop knowledge to my younger self.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested.
Oh, yes, because then I'd change my whole fucking life.
But here's the thing: the best part about life is the experiences and not knowing what to expect.
See, I beg the difference. Here's the thing. If I could avoid some of the pitfalls that I did in my life, I wouldn't have some of the fucking...
But you also wouldn't be the person you are today.
Yeah, but I also wouldn't have some of the heartbreak and scars that I have today, too.
That's part of life, baby.
Nah. See, you can avoid that shit. Listen, if they gave me an opportunity to go back, I would definitely change some shit. But you wouldn't change it.
I wouldn't change it. I'd go back and explore and see things that were before my time.
Nah, see, that shit's too crazy because they ain't even had no running water, no bathrooms, nothing like that. So,
I didn't have to stay for a while.
no baby wipes, no
I can just
nothing.
pop in for like an hour, you know? I got a time machine, motherfucker. I don't have to stay there for
Yeah,
years.
I'm going back telling my future self I'm being rich as fuck. But anyway, all right, man. We're coming into the show. You know how we do. Thought of the day.
I'm just gonna say the show's awfully quiet without Mitch.
I know it is. It is definitely. It's definitely a different little feel.
Different vibe. So.
Different vibe. You know, definitely with the coincidence there. Because I would have loved to hear some of his theories on.
And we'll talk more. I mean, we barely touched on. We just kind of ran through it quick on some of these. But I know Mitch has a lot of theories on JFK and RFK. And
you know,
MLK.
one of the things I wanted to talk about. You know, we've always kind of like tap danced around a little bit is 9/11.
Yeah, 9/11.
I know we all
can get into that.
We can all have feelings on that shit. You know what I'm saying? We all have feelings on that, but
Yeah.
that is definitely
That is definitely. I mean, besides JFK, that's probably the biggest fake story in the past 100 years.
leave it for when we
Yeah,
have.
we'll get Mitch in here. We'll definitely jump on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what's your thought of the day? Mine is we miss Mitch, and the podcast is better with him.
Yes. My thought of the day is, hey man, you know, I'm a week away from my birthday. I'm blessed to have another year underneath my belt. A lot of changes have happened in my life, and I embrace those changes. You know, I just told you I would go back and change some stuff from my younger year, but knowing that I can't do that, I embrace, you know, the changes that have happened over the year, and I embrace the future. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to see what the future holds, and that's what I would tell people. You know, just to be excited what you know what is to come. So, all right. On that note, we out 2 on the 10. Love you.